All right, so I'm gonna do a short video. I actually did a video that actually ended up getting a lot of views that I didn't really expect. But I got a lot of views, and it was a very short video, just some seconds, and I showed you really with the sunlight hitting, like in shade, while being in shade and the sunlight hitting. I showed you the actual lightest color of my hair. You know what I mean? And it was like, when you look at it, you go, that's not blonde, that's not dirty blonde, but it's just like, it's almost like the color is so close to blonde. Like you could almost say that it's blonde, but it's not blonde. You know what I mean? It's just brown, that's been so light, just really, really light. And I call it real Latin hair. On the I think or real Latin race or real Latin hair on the video title. And I got a lot of views on it, like right away. It was just catching views like crazy, and it was literally just seconds long. And the truth is, I tried to take a video from here because I could see it in my fingers, and when I looked at it, I was like, dude, wow, it was just like, wow. But and I looked at it and I was like, wow, but the thing is that I couldn't get the camera here. So I got the camera from the other side, and it still showed just as light. It just didn't look as fully nice as it would have. But then at the same time, do you want to look better on camera in real life, right? Isn't it better to look better in real life versus camera? You know what I mean? When you're about your actual real life, and you have a choice where, like, let's say you are on Entertainment Tonight, let's just say, or you're in a music video, whatever the hell you're in. Wouldn't you rather look better in real life, like when you're actually living life, versus when you're taking a photo to show what kind of life you're living? You know what I mean? But anyways, I did post that video, and to follow up on that, I kind of just wanted to talk a little bit about the Latin race, and what we know about it. So first of all, it's a very old race. That's one thing we know, because, and I've been through it. People consider the Roman Empire to be like the Latin race, but not everywhere. Now, we know that Rome is in Italy. The Vatican is its own territory. The Vatican is not part of Italy. The Vatican is not part of Italy, by the way. It's its own country or entity or territory, okay? It's independent. And the primary language is actually not Italian, it's Latin, like original classic Latin. The Pope, even to be like a basic level priest, you have to be fluent in reading, writing, and speaking Latin, okay? In the Vatican, which is the head of the Catholic religion. Now, talk a bit about, so we know that Rome existed thousands of years ago, was ancient Rome. But the funny thing is, the capital of Italy today is called Rome, right? Even though it's an ancient city and race. And like I said, Europe has many different races. You've got an Eastern Bloc that looks a certain way. And even then, there are some communities and countries that are kind of distinct a little bit. And then you got these Nordic people who people believe the blonde hair and blue eyes came from the Nordic race. You know what I mean? And no, I was just thinking of something. Anyways. Listen, I have never, made fun of blonde hair, blue eye, or said anything. I've never done that, never disrespected them. I don't care if you put it in the documentary that the blonde hair, there was a very stupid documentary. It was an official documentary. It was on Discovery or something. Or I don't know where it was. It was really stupid. They claimed that, anyways, they really trashed them for a second, the blonde hair and blue eyes, which I'm not gonna say I disliked or liked. I just felt like it was a little bit out of place, and I don't agree with that. You know what I mean? But people do believe that the blonde, blue-haired people came from the Nordic lands, which are way up north of Europe, like way north where it snows and everything. Like it really snows. Sweden, Norway, Finland. And these are also called Scandinavian countries. The United Nations rates these countries as the happiest countries in the world, meaning that the climate is good, the climate is ideal, education and law and everything is good, right? So I will give them that, and we can move past that. I don't want to get too into that. But yeah, you got like these so-called these Nordic people, this ancient race. You got these Latin people, which is an ancient race, and I've never really understood the United Kingdom. I don't really understand who they are. And to be fair, I haven't read up on their. Actually, I have read up on their history because part of Canadian history, when I took world history, we had a lot of UK and British history. But I've never been able to figure them out. I just don't understand the British, Scottish, Irish thing. I don't get it. I don't know where they came from. There's all these wild stories, and I have no idea. But yeah, there's the British, and there's the French. You have Spain, and Spanish is the root of Spanish is Latin. Spanish was created from Latin. If you're an expert on Spanish and Latin, like if you're in a university, if you're an expert professor, you would know, and everybody does know this, that the root of the Spanish language is actually Latin. Spanish was derived from Latin, okay, and it's a language of Spain. Now, like I said, Romania. So, like I've told you, like look at this and look at this, right? I've got real actual vampire teeth. You know what I mean? And I'm not even bullshit. I've shown it so many times on camera. I have real vampire teeth. You know what I mean? And you see my hair, how light it is. I mean, would you ever, knowing all that and seeing my face, would you ever believe that I'm from anywhere outside of Europe? Like, could you ever even comprehend that? And having Vlad as a real, as a real prince and a real dynasty historical figure in the 1400s, and having Cortez as well. We know that Romania is and Transylvania and all that. Like it is the home of the folklore. Now people will say that, wait a second, what are you talking about? Vampires and werewolves and all these people, they originate. I mean, they're all over Europe, man. What the fuck are you talking about? Vampires and werewolves exist all over Europe. A lot of people will say that. Now I'm not doubting that, but as far as official history goes, Vlad is the last official or the earliest official guy we know, and he literally sprouted Bram Stoker's Dracula, which started all this, Western folklore movies and books on vampires. And they never stop. I mean, the Blade series is on vampires. Interview with the Vampire had Brad Pitt, Tom Cruise, and Antonio Banderas in the same goddamn movie. Okay, that's crazy. By the way, Lestat, who was Tom Cruise, was supposed to be French. Brad Pitt was supposed to be American, like from the New Orleans, which is pretty much just French. And what's his name? Armand. Was Armand French or from Spain? I don't know, but it's Antonio Banderas playing him. Anyways, and I don't really know anything about these actors other than a couple of movies. But we know that a lot of vampire folklore came from Vlad and came from Transylvania. I mean, Transylvania is supposed to be rumored to have so many vampires there. You know what I mean? Like families and families of vampires, all the folklore, castles full of vampires, vampires lurking. Everybody really, till this day, they believe that. You know what I mean about Transylvania. But the thing is that a lot of the old families did leave Transylvania. Today, Vlad the Impaler or Vlad Dracula or Vlad Dracul the second or the third or whatever he was, or whatever the number was, his official castle is still there. You can go see it, actually. And tourists can go and see his actual castle. It's vacant. Okay, there's no Vlad families living anywhere in Transylvania. Okay, the folklore probably became so popular that people didn't even want to say they're vampires or want to be known as vampires or want to even like live in a place where people will be looking for vampires. You know what I mean? So for me to show this, and it's kind of ballsy at the same time, but at the same time, I have a very independent type of mentality and lifestyle, and you know what I mean, and I'm not the shy. Anyways, I'm not the most shyest person out there and whatnot, and I'm not saying it's smart. Like definitely, I don't live in Transylvania. I pretty much live in America. I pretty much live in New York State, man, because this is like just like New York State. I pretty much live, and this is a drive, just a couple hours drive, like 2 hours from New York State. Look, I live in this place, you know what I mean? For me, I got really nothing to, I'm not tracing anything around me, and I'm not, vampire folklore in New York State. You know what I mean? There's nothing like that going on. So for me to show my vampire teeth or whatnot, it's like just like it's nothing to me. You know what I mean? Because it doesn't really incite folklore and oh my god, are they really vampire? You know what I mean? There's nothing there. It's just like just plain evidence. You know what I mean? Also, so I've told you I don't believe in ancestry.com and all those DNA shit. That doesn't make any sense at all. How are you gonna like study somebody's blood splatter or their DNA? Don't you think CSI would be using that kind of stuff? Oh, we found the killer's blood. We know that he's Italian. We know that he's Irish. I mean, think about it. Wouldn't it make sense? You find blood in a crime and you can trace it back to the person's country and their heritage. It's absolutely bullshit. Okay, now moving on. It's just so hard to, I wanted to talk about the Latin race, but it's just so hard because I gotta trace back and start talking. So Vlad was actually there's different stories in official, they differ a little bit. Some official sources say that the Pope had elected Vlad the Impaler to represent Romania against the Ottoman Muslim Turks and keep them out of Europe, keep them out of their homeland, and pretty much keep their homelands Christian. Now, another story I read, which was an official source, and I read it a few days ago, that said that it was a secret knighthood. So the Pope had assigned it secretly, a secret knighthood, and had made him a special representative for that. You know,